safety plan can be a really good idea for trying to help to keep a young person who is self-harming safe. Also, the act of creating a safety plan alongside that young person can help you to get a better understanding of them and help to build bridges between you and them. So it's a really positive thing to do. The creation of the plan is almost as important as their ability to actually enact and use it. So a safety plan, in essence, is basically where we put together some ideas about what we will do in those crisis moments to try and prevent ourselves from actually harming ourselves. So it's a go-to guide for what to do when you're in crisis. Safety plans are found to be a really effective way of reducing self-harm and suicide. Even though they're really simple, they're super effective. And the reason is because if we think at a time of calm about how to manage times of crisis, and we create a document for ourselves that we can carry with us in physical form or on our phone that we can go to and use in those moments of crisis, we're much more likely to be able to do the things that help us effectively. If instead we think about it, we talk about it, but we don't write it down or carry it with us in any way, then in those moments of crisis, however much we've thought about it before, we might not be able to access that thinking or remember what we're meant to do because we're in a state of crisis. We're overwhelmed. It's very, very difficult to do good thinking in those moments. But if you've written a list for yourself of what to do, all you need to do is follow the instructions. That doesn't mean to say it will go perfectly each time, but it's much more likely to be successful. Exactly what the safety plan looks like depends on the individual, and you can create your own. But the sorts of things that it's really helpful to include are what to do in the first minute. So ideas, strategies for getting through the first minute when someone is in crisis. That's super helpful because when we're in a heightened state of kind of overwhelm, if we can get through just that first minute, then those feelings will begin to dissipate a little bit, and then we're in a much better place to access that kind of higher level thinking and problem solving and enact the rest of the plan. So keeping ourselves safe just for the first minute at first is really, really important. So that's a great thing to include in the plan. The sorts of things that you might include there might be distraction strategies, just anything that gets you through a minute. One of my favorites is just to play Candy Crush. So something that's kind of addictive and that the young person finds they would often be distracted by is exactly the sort of thing that might help in this moment. The next thing to think about is how to make the situation safer. So in a young person's safety plan, they might suggest to themselves that there are things or places or people that they shouldn't have nearby when they feel that they're in danger. Or they might do something really simple like put themselves amongst people. So perhaps if they're at home alone in their bedroom and they feel that they're at risk, they might choose to go and sit with the rest of their family, or to connect with someone online. Another really helpful thing to include in safety planning is ideas for distracting and calming. So things that can take our thoughts away from all the difficult stuff that's going around in our head and making us want to harm ourselves right now, or things that will help to calm us and bring us to a state of better emotional regulation so we're able to look after ourselves and take good, safe next steps. And then finally, I would always think in here about who can I reach out to and how. And it's important here to think about what happens at home, what happens at school, what happens in the middle of the night. I would always include the numbers of crisis lines or websites that are available 24/7, like the Samaritans or the Shouts text line within a safety plan, because it's often in the middle of the night when it's most needed and it's hard to access any of our normal ports of call. If you found this video helpful, you might be interested to learn more about YouCan. YouCan is our new, ever-growing, on-demand video CPD service for schools. Each course is made up of a series of modules just like the one you've just watched. Each module is designed to be highly practical with ideas that you can use right away. We're growing our library of courses every week to meet the demands of our subscribers. There's a huge wealth of training that you and your colleagues will be able to access if your school subscribes. Our short, practical videos make it easy and enjoyable to learn, so you can do anything you set your mind to.